Hello, my name is Sarah Tellis, and I am reviewing and showing a created document that I created using Annotation Studio. Annotation Studio is a web application that supports close reading. You can also use it for writing, editing, revising. I would see this as being useful in any humanities or language arts classroom. It can really help students figure out how to close read and then eventually transfer that over into their writing. So the website's actually pretty easy to use. You have to come up with a username and password, which I use my school username, and click sign in. And if you don't designate a specific class, it's going to give you a whole library of documents that have already been uploaded. You can also create your own, which is what I did. I used the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow because this is a piece that we use in our 8th grade English Language Arts classroom that I co-teach in. So first of all, I had to go online and find a PDF of the document, and you are able to upload it. And I can show you how to do that. Let's see here. So if I were to click New Document, and you can upload a Word file, PDF, or plain text and choose from your computer. So I'm just going to upload the same one that I have already used because I have it saved to my desktop. And you can give it a title. I'm going to call mine Midnight Ride 2 because I've already annotated Midnight Ride 1. You can put the author in and edition, publisher, publication date, source, and right status if you have that information. Here it shows you can only publish documents, or only published documents may be annotated. So to be able to annotate and type on that, you have to publish the document. So you click publish the document. If there's something that needs, you may want to look at it first as a draft and create the document. And you wait just a few seconds, and under your created, here's my Midnight Ride 2, and here's the text. Now, if you are downloading directly from the internet, there were a few things that I had to edit with the text before I published it. So from the website, courtesy of the Maine Historical Society, and this kind of showed up throughout the passage. So I had to do some editing to the passage before I published it. I also went in and added a few directions up at the top. So annotate this piece for finding similes, metaphors, figurative language, which I will show you in my annotated piece. So that's a little bit of how to download or upload a piece. If we go back to my dashboard and go to my created, you will see the piece that I actually already annotated. So I would use this for a close read. I did a training on text-dependent analysis, and a huge part of analyzing text for a text-dependent analysis was the close read portion. So the first question that I have is, can you identify annotations of with annotations, can you identify similes, metaphors, personification within the poem, and then explain at least one of those literary devices you highlighted. And it says annotate these in yellow. I did this before I realized you can't change the color, so you can annotate whatever you want by highlighting, but you can't change the color of the highlight. I have which images in the poem strengthen or illuminate Longfellow's message, explain your thinking with another annotation. And I have annotate in blue, but because you couldn't do that, I ended up adding tags to the annotation. So I'm just going to go through a few. You can see all of the annotations that I have created over on the right. As you highlight or click on the highlighted pieces, it pulls up the annotation that you have created. So a phantom ship with each mast and spar across the moon like a prison bar. So I have that labeled as a simile. The next section here, a huge black Hulk, I have it labeled as a metaphor. And it shows that I was the one doing the annotation. You can also add specific tags. If you look here, this was how the author used imagery, and I copied the quote, or actually when I highlighted it, the quote copied over to this box on the right, and then I was able to explain, and then you can see my tag at the bottom. I tagged it author's message. So I went through and found all of the examples of figurative language, similes, metaphors, personification, alliteration. This would be a great tool for formative assessment to see if your kids can, you can do it as a cold read, see if your kids can pull these things after instruction. You could use this as a close read to help guide a text-dependent analysis, but overall it would be a great tool for an English language arts classroom. Thanks.